Welcome to Auto Foresight. Three-row family SUVs have always asked buyers to make a trade. Towing capacity or fuel economy, practical utility or a refined interior. The Palisade has been a strong answer to the first version of that question for several years. The 2026 model is Hyundai's attempt to answer a newer one. Can a hybrid system sit inside a full-size three-row SUV and genuinely serve both sides of that bargain without giving too much away? That question matters more right now than it did even 2 years ago, because the hybrid options in this segment have become serious. And the answer the 2026 Palisade Hybrid gives is not a simple yes. The Palisade has always sat at larger, more capable end of the three-row segment. It competes with models like the Toyota Grand Highlander, the GMC Acadia, and the Honda Pilot. According to official information, the 2026 model arrives with a complete redesign, new platform, new powertrain options, and an interior repositioning that targets Genesis-level luxury in the top calligraphy trim. The base MSRP for the new generation starts at $44,710 in the US market. Production and orders opened in February 2026. What makes this moment interesting is the timing. Hyundai is introducing its first ever hybrid variant off the Palisade in the same generation that also redesigns the non-hybrid V6 version. Both powertrains are on sale at the same time. Buyers will be comparing them directly, and the differences matter more than a quick spec comparison suggests. The platform itself has grown. According to the manufacturer, the 2026 Palisade is 2.5 inches longer overall, with a wheelbase that stretches to 116.9 inches, 2.7 inches more than the previous generation. That extra length mostly benefits the third row, which has historically been the compromise space in this class. The aerodynamic coefficient of 0.31 CD is not exceptional by sedan standards, but for a vehicle this size, active airflow shutters in the grille contribute meaningfully to highway efficiency. That efficiency story is where the hybrid powertrain enters. Hyundai has moved away from the previous model's naturally aspirated V6 setup in the hybrid configuration. The 2026 Palisade Hybrid uses a 2.5-liter turbocharged four-cylinder paired with a 64-kilowatt electric motor integrated directly into the 6-speed automatic transmission. The system uses a 1.65 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery pack. Combined system output is rated at 329 horsepower and 339 pound-feet of torque, according to official specifications. For context, the Toyota Grand Highlander Hybrid Max, the main benchmark in this segment, produces 362 horsepower from its comparable setup. The Palisade Hybrid sits below that on-a-trite power, but it is targeting something slightly different. The combined fuel economy figure for the front-wheel drive configuration is 34 miles per gallon. The all-wheel drive variant comes in at 29 miles per gallon combined on the 18.2-gallon tank. Hyundai estimates a maximum range of 619 miles for the hybrid in its blue SEL premium front-wheel drive specification, a figure that has attracted attention in early coverage of this model. That range number is the headline, but the engineering details underneath it are worth a closer look. The thermal management for the hybrid system has been refined specifically for this application. A dedicated transmission cooler and a revised thermal circuit for the turbocharger manage heat across the combined powertrain. Cooling stability at highway speeds, which is where that range claim would be tested, has been a priority in the architecture. More unusual is what Hyundai has done with acoustic management. In the calligraphy trim, the hybrid battery system operates at an idle noise level of 34 decibels. To put that in perspective, 34 decibels is in the range of a quiet library. Acoustic glass has been implemented as part of the calligraphy specification to complement this figure. The combination is designed to make the Palisade Hybrid quieter under low-speed, electric-dominant operation than several vehicles carrying luxury badge pricing above it. This is the detail that most coverage of this model has not spent time on. The 619-mile range figure has circulated widely. The acoustic engineering behind how the hybrid system presents itself inside the cabin has not. For anyone buying in this segment, partly because long road trips are part of the brief. The difference between a 34 decibel hybrid system and a louder one is something that takes about 20 minutes on a motorway to notice. And remember, inside, the redesign has closed a real gap. Dual 12.3-inch curved displays carry the infotainment and driver information, with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto included across the lineup. The calligraphy trim adds Digital Key 2.0 Premium, which supports both NFC and Bluetooth. Low energy entry, meaning the vehicle can be unlocked and started from a phone without the key fob leaving a pocket or bag. There is also a UVC sanitizing tray built into the console. It is the kind of detail that probably would not have appeared in a 2019 product brief, and its inclusion reflects how buyer expectation lists have shifted since then. The Ergo Motion driver's seat, available on higher trims, is designed specifically for fatigue reduction on long journeys. The seat adjusts during extended driving to redistribute contact pressure. Whether that delivers meaningfully over distance is something reviewers will test over time, but the intent connects directly to the 619-mile range claim. A car positioned around long-distance capability should probably think carefully about what happens to the driver across those miles. Cargo capacity behind the third row is 19.1 cubic feet, with the third row stowed. That opens to 46.3 cubic feet. Those figures are competitive for the segment. Technology across the lineup includes the standard suite of driver assistance systems expected in this class: lane keeping, adaptive cruise, forward collision detection, and rear occupant alert. The XRT Pro variant is worth noting separately. It targets a different use case entirely. 8.4 inches of ground clearance, all-terrain tires, and an electronic rear limited slip differential. All-wheel drive models across the range include dedicated terrain modes for mud, sand, and snow, for a brand that built much off its reputation on sensible practicality. Equipping a single lineup with everything from a 34 decibel hybrid cabin to a locking rear differential is an interesting range of commitments to make simultaneously. Now, for the distinction that matters most for utility-focused buyers. The V6 Palisade is rated to tow 5,000 pounds. The Hybrid is rated to tow 4,000 pounds. That 1,000-pound difference is not a minor footnote. It is the gap between a boat or a mid-size camper trailer and not being able to tow one. For buyers who need towing as a regular part of the vehicle's brief, that difference changes the calculus entirely. Most coverage of the 2026 Palisade Hybrid has led with the range figure. Fewer have led with the towing gap. It is the kind of detail that does not appear in the headline but shapes the decision in practice. Official pricing starts at $44,710 for the US market. Pricing for the calligraphy trim and the XRT Pro has not yet been fully confirmed across all markets. The Palisade Hybrid is confirmed for the US, Australia, and Canada as launch markets, with the broader international rollout still to be announced in full. What the 2026 Palisade Hybrid represents is not simply a more efficient version of a familiar vehicle. It is a fairly direct statement about where Hyundai thinks the three-row SUV segment is moving, toward buyers who want the footprint and practicality of a full-size family hauler, but expect the running costs and refinement of something significantly more premium. The interesting question is whether that combination holds up against a segment that is now genuinely competitive on both sides of it. The Grand Highlander Hybrid Max carries the power advantage. The Palisade holds the range figure and, in calligraphy trim, a quieter cabin than several more expensive alternatives. The V6 Palisade has the towing edge within the same lineup, where the Hybrid actually lands in ownership after the first road trip, after the first time someone attempts to tow something, after the first time the cabin goes quiet at 40 miles per hour, will be worth following as real-world reports come in. Which direction do you think buyers in this segment will go? The range and refinement of the Hybrid, or the towing headroom of the V6? Drop it in the comments. And if there is a model in his class you would like a closer look at, let us know below that if you follow upcoming models like this, Foresight covers them regularly.